ChatGPT, not a psychotherapist, not a therapist at all. TikTok, not a psychotherapist, not a therapist at all. Life coaches on TikTok are life coaches, not therapists at all. Now, I really think that it's time that we take some of the ideas that we're getting from TikTok and apply them to AI and see who wins. Because we're definitely in a situation these days after the Me Too movement, COVID, Epstein, Weinstein, P. Diddy. We are definitely throwing down a foundation that women are abused by the Christian patriarchal. Oh, I'm missing something. By the system that's designed to destroy everything. And slowly we're learning that though we have these DEI things that are supposed to make everyone's lives better, it's the white women who are actually getting better from this stuff, that are actually getting payouts from this stuff. And things are definitely getting more and more difficult to be a man. And I remember when my relationship fell apart, I was trying to figure out what the rules were. It seemed like new rules had come up after COVID that came directly from TikTok. My ex was pulling things from TikTok, giving it to me, saying I was a abusive, controlling, covert narcissist. All of these really horrible things that later her therapist got her to apologize to me to. And like, she never apologizes, right? But what was really troublesome about all of that is she called me a covert narcissist before she realized, before she knew that you're never supposed to tell a narcissist that you found them. You're never supposed to give them that gotcha moment because it will be dangerous for them. So if you have a real narcissist and you confront them, it's not going to be good. It's never going to be good. Now, the thing is, my ex was getting all of this information off of either 30-second or 1 minute. It definitely hadn't broken the 1 minute thing yet. And she got all of her information from there. Oh man, it was devastating. And it was like, okay, look it up somewhere else. And she does. And even on Google, it doesn't say, don't confront them with this. It's like, this is how you identify them. Now, what really bothers me is nobody knows what it takes to identify a covert narcissist. But if she would have just put this shit into ChatGPT, it would tell her. And it would tell her, be freaking careful. It would tell her you can't diagnose this stuff, and then it would tell her the level of therapist that could. Now, what infuriates me is that the same people throwing these titles around can't even tell you the level of therapist that it takes to make this diagnosis. And they probably couldn't tell you the difference between a psychotherapist and a life coach. But on TikTok, everyone just wants to sell you things. Hey, ladies that are on TikTok all the time, have you noticed that every video has to get approved first these days? Almost like some of the ideas that you were throwing around were really bad, abusive, hurtful on many different ways. I mean, my ex legitimately said, you see that door? If I leave the door open in the morning, like she comes home late, sleeps, I was walking on eggshells. I was, because I'd wake up with the kids and the dog and she wants the door open. I said, I don't want to leave the door open. I don't want you to wake up. And she's like, do it anyways. And I said, are you sure? I mean the dog. And she's like, Nevin, you are taking away my autonomy. You're taking away my autonomy by not letting me, or by not just listening to me. Wow. Whoa. Okay. At the same time, she was listening to this TikToker named Tabs. Now, Tabs was saying that my ex-boyfriend or my ex-husband loved pornography. When I wasn't giving it to him, he would watch pornography, and I was outraged with this. And ultimately, I managed to kick him out. She's not on TikTok anymore. She got banned. And but still, she was there with her trash ideas, giving out trash ideas, and the biggest trash idea she had was kicking your husband out of the house. Once again, this is a dangerous idea. Kicking your husband out of the house is a dangerous idea. And then she gets from other TikTokers, call the cops on him, call the police on him, make his life hard. Girls start telling him, make his life hard, do this stuff, make him want to go, infuriate him, and then call the police on him. She couldn't. She had to fabricate things. She had to make things up. But the thing is, if she put this stuff, if we even put this shit through ChatGPT or any anything that, I'm not even a therapist, because therapists, there's so much they are ethically not allowed to tell you. And at the end of the day, you just need an objective damn answer. Like, we went to a therapist. Now, what I should have understood is when she said, the only thing I like about Nevin is when he comes home and goes to work and does his eBay and leaves to do his eBaying things. That's the only part I like about him. And the doctor was like, oh, well, see, there you go. There you go. Now, what he should have said is, it's done. It's done. That's his fucking job. That's what I'm paying him for. And maybe, hey, Nevin, if you're not good with this, these are the supports. This is the way that you need to go. You need to go off this way, and here are your supports. There aren't supports. There are no supports. There aren't supports. But, so now we're getting into a situation where it's his word versus hers, right? And I'm telling you, the cops were fine with me. The cops were fine. And they were like, they told me I should really get a lawyer and start thinking about things. My ex tried to kick me out of the house. Basically, on Easter, she said, look, I'm taking the kids to my parents' place today. I'm taking them tomorrow. And she didn't even ask me what I was going to do. So I was like, fine, you know what? Why don't you just spend the night? And I grab the basket of clothes, just a basket of clothes, and I start walking downstairs with it. I was going to throw it in the back of the car, just as a thing. She gets in my way. She refuses to get out of my way. She fights me for the clothes. She throws it down and calls the police on me. And then says, get him out of here. I mean, I have no other place to go. Meanwhile, it's her car. Work is just over there. I have no way to get to work. And she is going to her family's place right now that has extra rooms. I explained this to the police, and the police make her call her family while they're watching her. And this is fucking... anyways, her dad says, yeah, okay, we have space. Okay, so then she has to go. The police were like the only people that were there for me. After that, Child Protective Service got involved, and Child Protective Service is not for the man. She actually told me to move out. She knew she said things to me she shouldn't have. And so when we were having a conversation, I'm sorry, it was... I have so much. But when we were having the conversation, she said, you should just leave. And it was as if she was just hard line against me. She didn't care anything that my ex did. She was just out to get me. Because I'm a male, a white boy, I don't know. But legitimately, I was there. I felt it, and I was like, she hits the kids. Here's the video. She lets the kids eat 3-day-old Kraft dinner. Here's the video. Here's the case of a guy that died from eating 7-day-old Kraft dinner. He died. Do you see why maybe she needs to do this stuff? She wasn't keeping the house clean at all. She wouldn't let me clean the house, and she said that I was abusing her by asking her to clean the house. It was the middle of COVID. She refuses to wash the dishes. And if 3 days after COVID, I walk in, I just want to wash my hands, but there's always pots and pans in the dishwasher, and if or in the sink, and if I did the dishes, she'd be furious. And then she went on Reddit. And she was like, oh, my husband doesn't do the dishes the way I want him to. Is this and I'm frustrated with him about this. Is it a me thing or is it him? Is r/am I an asshole? And they skinned me alive. Guys, if they skinned me alive. They told her. And then they got her to the point where she was like, well, I just thought he was the best I could do. And I am the best that she can do. And normally I don't say that. Normally I throw myself in the dirt all the time. Because if I'm worthy, then maybe someone will save me. I don't know. Forget I said that. Forget I frickin' said that. But I am the best she can do. And the reason I know that I'm not going to get into particulars. I've already done better. But what I'm trying to get at is social media and men do one thing, but they're not objective. None of them are objective. After the fact, I have dated multiple therapists, nurses, People who want to help, people that say Fred Rogers would say, watch these people. These are good people. Watch these people. And I'm seeing that they're infested with the woke mind virus. And I can say that. I have a test. If you can get them to admit that racism is different than institutionalized racism, because they're trying to say institutionalized racism is the definition of racism. And institutionalized racism means white man, bad, colonialism, Christianity. They took over everything. And if you are oppressed, you are automatically better than your oppressor. No, they all suck. Every religion equally sucks, and every group equally sucks. I have big problems with Christianity because of, what is it, the second book of Timothy, chapter 2:16, and I suffer not a woman to teach to teach or usurp authority over a man. Also Muslims. I don't like the fact that Aisha was as young as she was when her flower was taken by the Prophet Muhammad. I don't like Buddhists because Buddha was given everything, including slaves, but he himself was never a slave. And though he claims to have seen both ends of the spectrum, he had never had his personal autonomy basically taken from him. And he was treated very well after he decided to go be a monk because he was related to some very good people. He says he's seen hell, but what he's seen was a hungry frickin' belly. I could go on. You want me to start getting in on pagans, you frickin' chaos women? But that just, all magic has a price, and that price is chaos, like absolutely. But the more I look into pagans, the more it just seems like the Christians just spend time complaining about the heathens, and the heathens just spend all day complaining about the Christians and having sex with one another. Like, am I not allowed to hate everyone equally? But anyways, I want to get back to social justice warriors. No, sorry. Social media. So, one thing I noticed, and I've lost friends over this, it's just women have one set of rules and men have another set of rules. If she's a woman and she's had this life, so she gets this. You're a man, and it doesn't matter what life you've had. Screw you. Nuts to you. Screw you. You have to deal with all that shit. Doesn't work that way. We want equality. I'm a third wave feminist. I want equality. Now here's the thing. We have a tribalism thing. That's basically, we believe the girl freaking immediately. And we have it there because we want her in our tribe. And we want to connect with that tribe. So we'll generally agree with whatever she says. And I've seen it happen personally. So as time goes on, like, it's like past divorce. Divorces are freaking rough. And I'm telling you, I'll bring up this Reddit thing. And you will see women who have been hurt by it will get together and be like, I was also hurt by that same kind of thing. But when you get into the details about it, the devil's in the details. And while women are coming together with words like you're taking away my autonomy, you're a narcissist, you're a gaslighter. Everyone's a gaslighter these days. That word was not around before COVID. Social media brought that word to us. Freaking TikTok brought that word to us. And don't you dare tell me that TikTok isn't any of these things because today you don't see those things. Girl, I was there when the magic was written. The algorithms. You want to talk about algorithms? I think, like seriously, I love how many people act like they understand algorithms and act like the engineers understand algorithms. They don't. As someone who has listened to the engineers that create these things, they create a bit of a monster. They harness it and they ride atop of it. They have to tweak it sometimes. I guarantee you they don't know what's going on. Sometimes they do. And sometimes they manipulate. Facebook has been known to manipulate. Like, we all openly know that Facebook tried a test to see if it could make people sad, and it worked. Guys, what do you think China's doing? China definitely owns part of TikTok, has interest in TikTok, and they don't like us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you have no idea because you're just thinking of your own country. Your own country only exists for about 100 years, and after that it was a bunch of natives, right? Well, guess what, guys? China is ancient, and ancient civilizations have blood feuds that go back generations. Let's talk about the Middle East, right? The cradle of civilization is around there. North Africa and the Middle East, They have some issues. They have some big issues. China has had gripes with us before we were born. China has had bad blood with us. Okay, so basically, our great grandfather, ideally, Britain, needed tea so badly to keep their army going. And they don't even, I know a lot of British people that don't even want to admit that. Scurvy was a big thing. There were flagships that were literally abandoned because the scurvy was so bad that everyone had to leave the ship. Like flagships. If you don't understand what that means, then like, it was a different time. And so flagships were being abandoned because they didn't have enough tea, they didn't have enough vitamin C. People would get scurvy and they just die at sea. The fleet needed tea the same way that America needs oil. Now, because of that, they broke into China. But while they were breaking into China, China was like, I don't want to deal with you. You guys stay over there. We'll be our stuff. And the British were like, no, we're going to get you addicted to opium. And then we're going to make you sell us tea. We're going to take Taiwan. And Hong Kong will be the port where we'll do all of this thing. Now, I feel some guilt personally about that opium thing because I remember in history seeing a picture of a man who was in an opium den and he literally sold his wife and child in order to get more opium. I can't. I can't. And that demon that was in him, demons aren't real, they're figurative things, they're ideas that we get carried away with. That demon infected him because of this war, that intergenerational trauma. So what I'm saying is, they don't mind messing with us because we messed with them. And they basically think we're related to them. And not only that, but their lives going on after was so goddamn hard. So goddamn hard that Chairman Mao's great leap forward. Now, all of these things are absolutely connected. And is this tech related? Absolutely it is. But when you find out about things like the Great Leap Forward, when you find out about, the Opium Wars, there were two of them. Opium Wars. This wasn't just something that came along. Opium War. Okay, guys? Now they have TikTok. TikTok is their opium for us. And we're letting it destroy our families. We're letting it destroy everything. We see something new these days not many people are willing to admit. Now that we're 17 minutes into this, I can say it because the people who aren't going to be listening, there is a movement for women to have their ex-husbands kill themselves. Legitimately. It's a thing. It's a moving movement. It's not a group the way incel is. Incels get together and in forums and stuff if they're men. But the women are different. Women are different, and that's okay. I mean, women don't like written smut more than they like visual. But here's a big problem with therapists. I'm sorry. Here's a big problem with therapists and social media. Therapists are literally there for you. For you. For you. Not to make sure you function in society as the cog you need to be, but to get your ass and your balls. And they don't challenge you. I know a lot about challenges. I'm as challenged as they come. But what's really messed up about it is that's not okay. That's not okay. One of the first things I learned when I got into the internet, some of the worst people in the world are the people that wanted you to hurt yourself. My ex-wife legitimately told me how much money she would get from the government if I offed myself. She knew that because her sister had a husband that a baby father that offed himself. Now this is the part that makes me furious. When I talked to a lawyer about this, she acted like there wasn't any way to get money. And I had to inform her that there was. So is this mansplaining? Why am I explaining this to a lawyer? I really feel like I can't get representation because everyone's just automatically on the woman's side. Legitimately, she had cancer. She was in the hospital, and I was coming to visit her, bringing her things from her place like she asked me to, bringing the kids to see her, and then she sends her lawyers out to get me while I was her main sport in hospital, and then expected me to keep bringing the kids out to her. Guys, we got to check the women on these bad ideas. Social media is not doing it. Therapists aren't always doing it. My ex's therapist was okay, but man, not all the time. Not all the time. But I literally think you need a computer, a cold computer, if you want the actual truth. Women don't know the actual truth because everyone's trying to fuck them. Nobody cares unless you're pretty or dying. And many people can agree there's many women that literally don't know reality because everyone's just trying to screw them. I legitimately think you could find men that would kill other men just to bet a woman. Absolutely, if it was legal, they absolutely wouldn't. You know it happened. Like, men get into fight for women all the time. Now we need something cold like a computer to look into these things and see when people are manipulating, because it happens a lot. A lot. It's interesting how a little bend can change everything. It's disgusting. But yeah, I definitely think we need more ChatGPT and less TikTok, less social media to figure out our relationship problems. Thanks for listening to me, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one. And take care of each other.